Hello everyone, my name's Josh Drastic, and welcome to another Game Theorist video. Now, a lot of things are different. First of all, got a desk. Second of all, I don't know if I can show you this. The fancy keyboard. And awesome chair. So, I'm like straight chilling now. God, why did I say that? I don't know. Also, I got a mouse. I mean, these things were all relatively cheap. But I'm just happy now that I have them. I did just spend some more money though, because I do need to put my laptop up so I can look up at it instead of down at it. But whatever, right? Sorry if I'm really chill and mellow right now. I'll probably get all hype in a second after we watch the video, obviously. My desk is a complete mess. I literally just got it, set it up, and now it's a complete mess, So, I'm trying. I'm trying my best. I honestly am. Anyways, guys, as always, if you enjoy this kind of content, consider leaving a like on the video. It would be very much appreciated. And if you're new here, hi, I'm Josh, and this is what I do. I react to videos, and sometimes I play video games. So if you enjoy that kind of content, consider subscribing and sharing my videos to friends so that I may grow and we can all watch and play some awesome videos and video games together. And if you have any suggestions of any videos you'd like me to watch or any video games you'd like me to play, go down in my comments below, leave me a link or title to the video, and I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Today's video is 18 minutes long. I don't have water with me anymore because I'm very scared of getting it anywhere. I don't want to get it anywhere or on anything. So I'm very scared to have it around here. But I'm sure as time goes on, I'll just not really care. Anyways, I can't wait for this. I've been waiting to try this out for a long, long time. So we're going to see if any of this stuff works. Hopefully this video is not a complete disaster. Let's see if the audio is even working. Yes, sir, it is. So, you guys ready? It's going to be fun. My hair's a mess. I need a haircut. I need a shave. I need to do a lot of things. But I'm going to make this video so you have something to watch in the morning. But yeah. Oh gosh. Without further ado, please work. Please everything work. I also need to probably get some echoey things for my room. But here we go.
Dear Mojang. Hi, it's me,
Austin!
I'm changing meds right now, like
What?
right now. I am in the middle of it. Goodbye, sertraline. Hello, Wellbutrin. Let's do this! No, I am just kidding. I just literally got my second Pfizer dose on top of all of this. I feel like crap. But
Okay.
we are here, we're doing this. I'm playing Minecraft because it's the thing
Trust
I
me,
do
man, I
when I
understand how you
don't know
feel.
what to do with my life. I think I've said this before, but I'm like the most basic Minecraft player on Earth. Other than I'm rather fond of hardcore mode, I guess. The only thing I really like to do is the same stuff I liked to do when I first got the game back before the 1.0 release. I like to just sit and farm and simulate a simple provincial life. I try to make sure that I never have to worry about food, shelter, or monsters, and I tame the world around me to make it like a haven.
So
and
other
sometimes
words,
I
you're
build
bored.
long tunnels with trolleys or
boring.
whatever, but point is, I'm definitely
Boring.
not one of those guys who gives two bananas about killing ender dragons or omega turbo whites or whatever. I'm just the guy trying to make as much bread and cheese as I can. Wait, is there cheese in Minecraft? Let me look real quick. No, there is not cheese in Minecraft.
How would you even
added
make it?
Water zombies into the game before adding cheese. No.
How would you
I
make
know,
cheese in
it's your
Minecraft?
game. Do what you want.
How would you make cheese in Minecraft? Wait, what? So you would need the milk. I mean, then what else would you add? What else is in Minecraft that makes cheese? I don't know. I don't know what else is in Minecraft that makes cheese. What would you even do it? How would you? No, there's no cheese. Of course, there's no cheese. But I'm gonna think way too hard about this. Well, and then I'm just gonna suddenly pause it and be like, I know how.
I'm just saying, people like cheese. It's very popular.
Nah, I don't really like cheese.
Wanna just get in on that. It's all I'm saying.
I like this new chair.
Anyway, since all of my pursuits are basic and provincial, all the things I think about are basic and provincial. All the things that I stare at and consider and ponder and prepare to nitpick. Like the absolutely absurd eating habits of the Minecraft protagonist. That's right, we're going there right now. We're doing this. A whole freaking episode about eating food in Minecraft. And no, I'm not just making this video because it's almost dinner time when I'm writing the script. Hey, psst, hey, Wellbutrin? So you know how I've been on selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors exclusively for a really long time now, almost a decade maybe. Close.
They have a ton of Patreons.
A long time. So you may not be aware, they've actually helped dull the edges of my personality a little bit. Keep me
Nobody's joined it yet.
I'm
so
aware that my earlier episodes were I don't know. Maybe the first one who joins it, I'll just put their name in mellowed since then, and I was even more before.
Right there in the
point. Do you think you could
right there.
chill out a little bit?
Right there. I'll put it right there. It's so hard to point. I'll put it right there. I got it. Right there. Right there. Yeah, there we go. I had to match the angle of the camera. I'll put it right there, just in big letters. As the first person. And I'll just leave it there for the entire video. Why not? I can do that. It's my video. I can do what I want.
With my extreme you can't. You're a norepinephrine dopamine reuptake inhibitor and therefore work totally differently from something that blocks the reuptake of serotonin. Woo, boy, we are in for some wild variety.
Yes!
Okay, so food
He's
in
back
video
to the
games
way
has
he
always
normally
been
was.
a little goofy, even in games that are supposed to somewhat mimic real life, like The Long Dark, Fallout New Vegas Hardcore Mode, Fallout 4 Survival. It's not just Skyrim where you can eat 500 wheels of cheese. Hey, cheese! Mojang, cheese. Anyway, eating 500 wheels of cheese in order to gain back health quickly in an emergency. Food in video games is never truly realistic. You don't usually get full, and with some specific outliers aside, you never really gain weight due to overeating. Food in these situations is more like a meter that you have to keep track of and balance, a resource like health or like a timer. And it's fine. I don't hate it at all. I actually kind of love it. But it does have some extremely weird implications.
What do you mean?
And we're looking at those today with Minecraft right now. Anytime. The hunger mechanics of Minecraft are actually surprisingly complicated. Let's just go through them one by one and you'll see what I mean. There's the food level, which is the thing you're probably the most used to seeing. It's these things. What are they? Chicken drumsticks? Glasses of wine? Anyway, doesn't matter. There's 10 drumsticks, but there's actually 20 points in total, since each drumstick can be either half full or entirely full. So if I say 20 hunger at any point in this video, know that I'm talking about a full bar of chimkin. When you have over 17 food points, your health regenerates every food tick, which we will get to eventually. If you're below 6 points or 3 chimkins, you can't sprint anymore. If there's 0, you lose half a health point per hunger tick. Here's where things get really interesting. Have you ever noticed in Minecraft that not all foods are created equal, even if they restore the same amount of food points? Well, that's because that is absolutely the case. Not all foods are created equal. That's because of hunger's second, arguably most important and devilishly hidden mechanic, food saturation. Food saturation is generally invisible, but it's arguably more important than hunger level, and it's basically how much food reserves you have when it comes to keeping the food level and the hunger bar from ticking down. In short, it's actually how hungry you are. Every food item in the game has a total separate food saturation value aside from its food level. An apple, for instance, will restore 4 food points, or 2 little chimkins, but only 2.4 saturation points. A baked potato, by contrast, will restore only 1 more food point than the apple, but 3.6 more.
No way. I didn't know that was I didn't know that was a thing. I thought it, no matter what, it just always, I thought your food just always went down as
Saturation.
Let me listen to it more.
And why is that important? Well, in order to understand that, we're gonna have to look at the next secret, although easier to understand mechanic. Food exhaustion. Food exhaustion is ultimately what makes your character hungry. There's not a ton of things that actually cause exhaustion, but most of them are tied to some of the most common activities in the game. Swimming, for example, is 0.01 point per meter of exhaustion. Jumping while sprinting is 0.2 per meter. Regenerating health from food is a whole freaking 6 per half a heart. Food poisoning is a little bit more complicated and each one seems to be different, so I'm not gonna go there. Several
Sounds
things
good.
don't increase exhaustion though, which is kind of interesting. There's no exhaustion taken by just standing still or even walking, interestingly enough. But what do all these numbers mean? Well, it's actually pretty simple. Exhaustion points take away food saturation. Every time you reach a total of 4, a single point is removed from the food saturation level. For example, let's say it's nighttime on day 1 and you forgot to build your first mud hut because you're just a forgetful idiot. And now you see monsters showing up, so you begin to run. Not walk, you run this way. You run 10 meters and hit a river. There's a creeper coming, so you have no choice but to swim across. You get across the river, which was 5 meters or blocks wide. Good job. You now have to jump over an obstacle, and then, you see more creepers coming. Time to
Just
run
stay
some
in the
more.
water.
You sprint 10 more meters, jumping over a couple lava pits that are in the way so you don't get slowed down going around them. You think you're
I like
safe,
his
then you
2D
get pinged
rendering
in the
of this.
head by an arrow. Ouch! Where'd that come from? Ouch! A skelly boy over there. You kill him. You hit him 11 times before he goes down, but not before he
too
gets
much
one
math.
more arrow into you.
Too much
It's
math.
daytime. Whew, you made it. All of that, all of those individual things, taking 3 hits, sprinting, swimming, jumping while sprinting, etc., cost you exhaustion points. Exactly 4, it turns out. And because you hit 4 points of exhaustion, you will lose 1 saturation point until you don't have any more saturation points left. Then, and only then, will it deduct points from your hunger bar. The food tick timer, meanwhile, the last mechanic, is arguably the least important, but it may become important for timing later. It's simply the timer that decides when things related to hunger happen. Every 4 seconds, if you took damage and need to heal and you have over 17 food points, you regenerate half a heart. If you have food poisoning, saturation points are taken away every 4 seconds, and if you're at 0 food, you lose half a heart every 4 seconds.
All right.
Pretty easy to understand.
Yeah.
So this all sounds complicated, so here is a refresher. And it's easier if you think of it as though you have 2 fuel tanks, an activity meter, and a timer. There's the food level fuel tank and the food saturation level fuel tank. The food saturation level tank is the first tank that you will draw from, and until it is totally exhausted to empty, the food level tank will never go down. And both tanks won't go down until the activity bar, the exhaustion level, fills up entirely, at which point it will drop down to 0 and 1 ounce or whatever of fuel will leave the saturation tank. If there's no fuel in the saturation tank, then it will be taken from the food level tank. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now, there is a timer here, which is your food tick timer, which takes away health or heals you, whichever, every 4 seconds if needed. This is the engine, the motor, the entire ecosystem of the hunger mechanics of Minecraft. It's pretty complicated, and most of it is under the hood, which, is absolutely fine. You don't need to see all this in order to have fun playing the game. That being said, if that's the case, then why did I waste literal minutes trying to explain all of this to you? Well, because actually, it's extremely important if we're going to unpack the absolutely bizarre and inane eating habits of the Minecraft protagonist. Also, if I had read all this to begin with, I wouldn't have wasted time having my avatar sit in a mud house for an hour to see how long it would take him to starve to death. It's never gonna happen, Austin. He's not doing anything, and he still has 5 food saturation from the start of the game and like 0.1 exhaustion points. Moron! Okay, now that we understand the underlying mechanics of hunger, let's look at how utterly ridiculous it is in Minecraft. And in order to really dive deep into that, we're gonna have to look at one of the most fundamental cornerstones of human society: bread. Bread on its surface is simple. It's the seeds of the wheat plant taken and ground into an ultra fine powder. You add some water and technically technically you could be done now. You do have to knead it, of course, but in theory, you can make bread with just flour and water. It does take a while for wild yeast to propagate, but with that waiting, you get something extraordinary. A nutritious, portable, long-lasting food that tastes incredible. Entire civilizations have been founded under its banner, and entire civilizations have crumbled to dust in its absence. Bread is a fundamental building block of human civilization, second possibly only to rice, and it is the key to understanding just how out of control the Minecraft protagonist's voracious appetite is. And dang it, now I'm hungry! Anyway, taking our newfound mechanics plus some in-game testing I did to determine that the Minecraft protagonist can jump approximately 2.824 times a second, I figured out the fastest rate in general a Minecat, really, Austin? I would play Minecat. I would do it. I figured out the fastest rate in general a Minecraft player can starve to death. Like, if you made a game right now in hardcore mode, how quickly could you die by starvation? And it is surprisingly fast. If you're sprinting while jumping, you end up burning a remarkable total of 1.0.
Wait, so on hardcore, isn't it different than if you're on easy? Or am I just stupid? I'm probably just stupid. I'm being stupid, aren't I? It's the same all around, isn't it? Wait, no, it's not. No, it's not, because I feel like it's easier when it's... Oh, yeah, obviously. I feel like it's easier when it's on easy. Then you go to hardcore, and then all of a sudden, it's really stupid hard to find food. Food is, like, you know, you're constantly eating. Well, technically, he's doing it in the perspective of hardcore, so it doesn't really matter.
0.096 exhaustion points per second. If you start with the max of 20 food saturation points and 20 food level points, how long would it take you to starve to death doing this? Well, you're going to be able to sprint and jump for your first 20 saturation and 14 food points, which is approximately, well, no, it is exactly 136 exhaustion points, which means you could sprint and jump for about 2 whole minutes before you couldn't do it anymore. At this point in time, our rate of exhaustion diminishes greatly, down from 1.096 to 0.141 points per second, because without sprinting, jumping is our best option, and you cannot sprint if you're only at 6 food points. Technically, you can eke out another 0.005-ish per second-ish by breaking blocks, but this is really so small as to be meaningless. Sitting there jumping means it'll take another about 2.8, almost 3 minutes to completely diminish our food bar, which is where finally the food tick timer becomes relevant, as every 4 seconds you will lose 1 point or half a heart of health, giving you 80 seconds to find something to eat before you keel over and die. All of these times add up to a whopping 6 minutes and 14 seconds it would take you at peak performance to starve to death completely from being fully fed. Given that Minecraft takes place in a world 70...
Yes, this is where I wanted... Oh, yeah, this is where I definitely wanted to hear the world part. I was going to ask that, actually.
2 times faster than our own. This means that, more realistically, Steve or Alex can starve to death in just over 7 hours, which is...
Wait, well, I mean, if you... I mean, if you think about it, technically, you're running and jumping, and a real person in real life, running and jumping for 7 hours...
is remarkably quick, which brings us...
It is quick. And it's weird that they're dying from starvation, not exhaustion, obviously, because in real life, you know, that wouldn't be the case. But, I don't know. So you're nonstop... I don't know, because that doesn't make any sense, because I can't remember the guy's name, but there's a runner who has run marathons for days, I believe. I can't remember. He like doesn't get exhausted or something. But I do believe that's because he has a certain genetic trait that makes it so that he doesn't have that neural connection where the brain's telling him, hey, you're tired, hey, you're exhausted, you know, something hurts, blah, blah, blah. I don't think he has that, and that's why he's able to run for days. But Yeah, 7 hours actually, when you think about it, it's really short. Yeah. So Steve is fat. Like me.
Back to bread, because this is the good stuff.
This
A
is good
loaf
stuff.
of French bread in its entirety is worth about 1,200 calories of bioavailable energy to
Jesus.
us. And using this, we can determine just how many calories our
An
little
en-
protagonist...
An entire loaf? Yeah. I mean, I never done the math on like just normal square cut bread, but I guess yeah, that'd be about accurate. And that it's mostly carbs.
is consuming just to live. Bread in Minecraft is worth 5 food points and 6 saturation points, giving it a total capacity of 14 points combined. Did you really write 14 there, Austin? Really 14? How's anyone gonna trust your math if you say 6 plus 5 is 14? Freaking idiot. It's 11! Anyway, 11 points multiplied by 4 to account for exhaustion points can weather about 44 exhaustion points before being used up, meaning its calorie to exhaustion point ratio is 27 to 1. At peak exertion, Steve can rip through this 1,200 calories in just 40 seconds, which we do gotta multiply by 72 to get our real world time of 48 minutes, making a sprinting and jumping Steve consume roughly 0.41 calories per second, or 24 calories per minute, which is actually almost exactly what sprinting takes up to a normal human. That's kind of interesting.
That's weird how, like, in the beginning, like, I was like, dang, and now I'm like, yeah, actually. Because in the beginning, that sounded like a lot, and now he's putting it out in per minute, and I'm like, oh. Like, yeah,
surprisingly accurate, but it does get worse or
Okay.
better, because
All right, yeah.
Olympic sprinters only sprint for about like 9 to 15 seconds. But as long as you keep cramming food into Steve or Alex, they can sprint essentially forever, which is where their real superpower is. 100% efficient calorie absorption and use.
And it's a video game, so of course something's gonna be 100% efficient.
Calories put into Steve and Alex can be utilized immediately and without delay, which is something we do not possess as human beings.
No,
and
sir.
the benefits of this evolutionary adaptation become more pronounced when you consider something that
anything
I've
in the
been
animal
leaving
kingdom
out this
actually does
entire
that.
time. The Minecraft protagonist has Wolverine levels of healing factor. Steve and Alex can heal from nearly fatal wounds just by waiting it out for a few hours, as long as they have the calorie reserve to support it. In fact, they can do nearly anything as long as they have enough food in them. Healing...
Didn't we already discuss that, like, they're kind of like gods because they can carry 64 stacks, or not 64 stacks, but they can carry shulker boxes filled with 64 stacks of gold, completely filled, and then filled their entire inventory with it? Didn't we kind of already talk about that? How they're stupid strong and kind of invincible like gods?
requires the highest amount of exhaustion points of 6 points every 4 seconds, but the returns are massive. A single loaf of bread from calories alone can provide over 7 points of health of regenerated healing. And if you have enough bread on you, Alex and Steve become literal superheroes who can sprint, run, jump, dig, swim, and fight literally forever. The max exhaustion points I calculated you could reasonably get per second is 2.8, meaning a single loaf of bread of 1,200 calories produces a whopping 18, adjusted for timescale, minutes of superhero level feats, making it possible to burn over 3,800 calories per hour while fighting and healing and doing other superheroes.
I mean, like, that sounds like a lot, but I'm sure if he did the math, he'd be able to rationalize it. But in terms of, like, how many calories I should be eating a day, I should be eating around 2,000 calories. That's accounting for me trying to cut weight. And that's an hour. I'm supposed to be eating 2,000 a day. Jesus.
Stuff straight, no sleep. They don't need to sleep at all.
True,
With only
they don't.
76 loaves of bread, Alex or Steve would have enough calories to go on a 24-hour rampage of destruction, burning 91,666 calories in 24 hours without sleeping. Can you do that? Can you go down to the grocery store right now and clear out all the bread aisle and take on entire armies? I bet not. All this
I bet not.
superpowered athleticism putting them on par with Superman Superman does come with a cost. It is very, very easy to overexert yourself and starve to death. That is the consequence of having calories immediately available to you. It's like being a hummingbird, but kinda worse. Their metabolism is running so fast that it has to refuel every 10 minutes, or they risk starving to death as their bodies literally eat their own muscles for sustenance until they can't fly anymore. And well, you know what happens to wild birds that can't fly? Not good. This also means that they'd be going to the bathroom a lot. Like a lot. Like enough they can maybe propel themselves forward by jet-powered waste like some sort of horrific fighter rocket. Please make the...
Now I want to see the math for that.
Waste pink, Tanya. And frankly, I would say that it's worth it. There's plenty of food in Minecraft, and they can have at it. If anything, I think this demystifies something I've always wondered about Wolverine. That dude's calorie requirements have to be utterly through the roof.
Do the math.
Can you imagine how many cheeseburgers that dude has to pound away to make up for healing a traumatic brain injury? It's a lot, I bet. Sincerely,
do it.
Austin.
Austin, do it. Do the math on that. I want to see the math on that, Austin. Go. All right. Obviously, he doesn't know who I am, so.
I just want to put out a personal thank you to my
Patreons. Anyways, I love that video. That's great. I love Austin. I think Austin's great. I miss his the old way he used to do his videos where he would just scream and yell a bunch. But, you know, it's okay, I guess. He's just being him. Less energetic, I guess. I don't know. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed. I enjoyed the video. I love watching this kind of stuff. I love the math behind it. I love the weird, like, explanations of things that are happening in the world, or not in the world, but in the game. In the game world, I should say. Yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy it very much. Anyways, as always, let me know what you want me to see or watch next down in the comments below. Give the video a like if you enjoyed. And as always, stay strong, everyone. Stay safe. Wear your seatbelt, wear your helmet, wear your mask. Don't put the flashlight behind you. Don't look in the haunted mirrors. And have a nice day. Where'd my mouse go? Well, my mouse disappeared. That's what happens when you don't use the mouse for too long. Your mouse disappears. Alright, see you guys later.